Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Knatters Knits podcast. Today is Sunday the 30th of November 2015 and I'm Natalie as usual. I'm known as Knatters Knits on Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Etsy, you name it, that's where you'll find me as Knatters Knits. I'm a bit hesitant this afternoon because I'm having some fun and games with the software, so we'll see what happens. But welcome back to all those of you who've watched me before, and especially hi to Jen and Jenna, who I know sometimes watch me. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for those of you who are trying me out for the first time. I'm coming to you from the north of England. It's a very windy and wet November day, and to be honest, looking outside, well, I don't even want to look outside, it's so cold. I apologise if you can hear the wind in the background. The reason I've called this episode Gusty Winds is because it is just that. The wind is very gusty today. And gusty winds is a bit of a family joke between me and my husband. They quite often say it on the news forecasts, weather forecasts. And so he's got his friend he calls Gusty Winds. He says, oh, Gusty Winds has made an appearance. So that's for Phil. And right, I suppose we better crack on. As you can see, I have decided that I quite like my shawl. This is my Winter Wonder shawl, so I'm going to wear it again. It probably isn't going to get sold at all, but hey ho, I like it. And it is that windy at the moment that you do need to wear something. So that's my Winter Wonder shawl. So how's your week been? What have you been up to? My week's been interesting, I suppose. I've spent a little bit of time up in the attic at work, doing some filing and just the usual things really. Getting ready for Christmas. The plans are hotting up now. The residents have got a really busy social calendar, and my office seems to be filling up with raffle prizes at the moment. So that's that. So it's a good week really. And I suppose from a knitting point of view, it's been a relatively good week too. I'm looking down here because I've got all my items that I've finished or are in progress at the moment. So we'll start off with some little things. I have made a few squares. Some of you will remember that I've been doing a mitred square set of squares like this for a blanket I'm going to be making. And as you can see, I haven't woven in the end yet, but these are just little scraps I've got either from samples or leftover bits. So I've got one, I've got two, and I've got number three. As you can see, I ran out on this one, so I've had to use a bit of the yellow, but hey ho, it'll match up. So that's three more, so that's not bad. Some of you will remember, if you watched last week's podcast, that I've been looking at this book, which is Knit Play Colour, and it's by Louise Zass-Bangham. Sorry about the glare on the screen there, my windows in the background, but it is a nice book, and I was intrigued, if you remember, with this pattern, and I really like the contrast. The idea was that I would use a darker colour and something a little bit more zany to combine and tone down the really bright one, and it all started off very well. And I got so far, and then I suddenly realised I was running out of my darker coloured yarn. So this is what I was using. The purple, although you can't see this purple there, let's pull it back a bit and see what happens. Just at the top here, that purple there is about the right colour. The purple was a single ball of Lal Bear that I had left. Lal Bear was well, she still is alive, but she used to die on a regular basis, but she retired, and so I'm using up what I have of hers, and I'll tell you a little bit more about some of the others that I've been using this week as well. So I'm trying to use up my stash as much as I can. So I started off and it was doing really well, and as you can see, it's an awful lot smaller. It should be about this wide, but of course I ran out of yarn. So it's got this very nice pattern down the middle. If I hold it still for long enough, maybe you can see it. There we go. And the outside edge is some yarn done by FO and Dye's daughter. It's not by Goth Hearts, but one of her daughters, and so I was using that to tone down. I haven't actually got the other ball, rest of the ball with me. There's quite a bit left of that, so I'm not sure what to make. But as you can see, the ends aren't completely woven in, but this is huge. I'll take this one off a minute and put this one on. You can see it wraps around multiple times. I don't think I'm going to get the third one there, fourth one rather, but that's what's left. There you go. Yes. It is very nice, nice and warm, and when I haven't got those bits showing. There we go. So that's okay. I like that. It needs blocking and it needs sorting out. So I won't credit it with the name that it was given in the book, because obviously it's only half of what the book was. So that's that one. Just put this one back because it is a little chilly in here. The other thing about having done this shawl, the white one, is that I've really got into beading now, and I want to do some more beading, which I didn't think I would ever say. I've only ever done 2 beading projects. One is this one and the other one was my daughter's wedding shawl. And the first one, I don't know whether it was the pressure or what it was, but I found that one really difficult, whereas this one's a lot easier. So that's something to think about for the future. My next project hasn't started yet, but I suppose it's also part of my acquisition this week, and it came in the post. It's this very pale but beautiful. It's not me really, is it? It's from Fondant Fibre, and it's called Spangle. It's superwash merino and nylon and stellina, and the colourway is vintage fairy lights. It's a 4-ply, there's 400 metres in 100 grams, and it's from www.fondantfibre.com, and fibre is spelt the English way, F-I-B-R-E. So this is really soft. It smells slightly sheepy, which is good. I like sheepy. And I'm just thinking that this will, I don't know if you can see the glitter on this. Can you see this one? Yes, I think you can. I think it would make quite a nice shawl and would look quite nice around the neck. So I'm umming and ahhing about that one at the moment, because it's obviously not something I'll be wearing, because it's not my colours. Though I chose it, so maybe it is. I seem to be going through a lot of different phases. I haven't before really worn white, but here I am. Beads, lace, not usually my thing. I'm usually fairly basic and, you know, average. But the more I look, excuse me, leaning over, I've got other skeins, like this one, which I suppose would go a little bit with this one. Never realised that before. And this one is Oakworth 4-ply, and it's by Eden Cottage Yarns. Again, another lovely yarn. This is Superwash New Zealand Polworth. There's 400 metres on there as well. So it's 800 metres. So I suppose it could make a lovely shawl. There's a thought. See, I keep on having these ideas and keep playing around with things. And I just need to get on and do, don't I? Really do. So another ball of yarn that I'm working on at the moment from Lyle Bear is this one. I can't remember the name of the colourway. I've got 4 skeins of it. It's got turquoises, some navy blue, it's got some reds, some pinks, purpley colours, quite a mixture really. And I like that, and it's a DK weight. So I have started knitting this one, which is, it's called the Aisling crossover neck jumper, and this is the back, so as you can tell it's a child. And for those of you who watched, I think I announced it last week, but if not, it's been on Instagram, I'm going to be a grandma. My daughter Rachel is expecting a baby in June, so I've started knitting all manner of children's and baby things. No, that's that one. The thing about this one is it's all cabled, and this one's got honeycomb stitch here, which you can't really see very well on camera. But I think will look better once it's finished. Maybe the variegation's too much for it, I'm not sure. Possibly. But also my knitting isn't that great, and I do keep missing. I have a bird of little brain. I don't seem to be able to follow written instructions very well. I'm not very good at reading charts either, but I'm worse at reading charts than I am at following the instructions. So I get partway through something that's a complicated line of knitting, and I lose it, and I end up having to go back, and it just takes so long, and so I end up giving up and losing interest. Whether I'll do that with this one or not, I shouldn't do, because it's only a baby chart and a baby pattern, but who knows. So that's that one. So that's that work in progress. What I've started doing, because I'm still doing all these little squares that we talked about at the beginning, is now I'm putting them in a bag so that I've got lots of little bits and pieces. I've got some lovely sparkled up there, still some of the really vivid bright ones. In fact, it's a lot of greens. And then some blues. That's bamboo, and I don't like the feel of that very much. It's very, I don't know if you can hear it, very squeaky. There's a little bit more of that rainbow one there. That's quite silky. You can probably see by the sheen on it. I've got this one, which is rather nice. Very tweedy effect. Quite like that yarn. Don't know what it is, but I like it. So I've got all sorts of bits and pieces in there. So I'm going to keep those separate now so that I can keep a track of them, and I've got them contained. Because my lounge and my study are getting a little bit, should we say, cluttered again? How long is that? A week? 2 weeks? Crazy, isn't it? So for this week, I'm going to carry on with the projects. I need to get Graham's socks finished. I seem to be really having problems with doing the socks, and I don't know why. I just don't seem to be very happy about finishing them, working on them. I get bored very, very quickly, and I just don't know what's up with me, because I know I've got a deadline, and maybe it's because I've got a deadline, who knows. So that's that. So I've got to get those cracked on with. I'll carry on with this little jumper. Mustn't start that orange stuff, mustn't. A lot of my knitting at the moment has been, as you can tell with the huffs and the puffs and the, I'm doing a lot of thinking again about what I want to make, what sells, and because of my decision not to do the craft fairs further afield because they just don't pay off, I need to think a little bit more closely now about what I'm doing. I need to do some more dyeing because this pile in the corner here is huge. I've got some spinning to do. In fact, let me show you what's on my niddy noddy at the moment. I'm in the process of I've just plied this, so I'm just winding this on. So this is part of my John Arbon fibre, which I can't see for the minute. It must be here somewhere. But I've bought a sweater's quantity worth of fibre so that I can actually make something out of this. So this looks, I think, as if it's coming out at a DK weight. See the twist in that, can't you, there? So this one is just being wound off the niddy noddy, then I can work out what yardage I've got, and then I shall carry on spinning again, do some more. I don't like to have too much sitting around, just sitting on a bobbin. I like it plied, washed, thwacked. And yes, thwacked is a technical term for hitting things against a wall, and you do that with wool as well. But I need to get on with this, and then I've got my sweater's quantity and I can work out exactly what I'm going to make with it. I've got that many patterns in my queue on Ravelry at the moment. I've started going through Ravelry this week and trying to cull the amount of groups I was in, because I was in about 60 odd groups. Well, you can't keep up with 60 odd groups. And I was also, my pattern queue was getting silly. I mean, it's not silly compared to a lot of people's. There was only about 15 things in it, but I just thought it was far too many to have sitting there when I know full well that I won't get all 15 done, because, as I've said before, I'm a little bit like a squirrel, sort of, ooh, that one, ooh, that one, ooh, that one. So I need to try and keep my list of things I want to do fairly small, otherwise everything just gets out of hand. I was also thinking about the comments that people make on their podcasts. I've been trying to try a few new podcasts out ever since Knitting in Circles with Darren and Amy's finished. I want to find something to replace it, and I've been trying out a lot of new podcasts, or new to me podcasts, to keep me company while I'm busy with that. Perhaps I ought to stop this. Is it distracting? I think probably it is, isn't it? I'll put that to one side. But that is the John Arbon Fibre so far, and there's still quite a bit more to wind on off the bobbin here. There we go. That's about the colour there actually. It's rather nice. I think it'll be better once it's settled down, it's washed and it's thwacked, but I do like it. So that's that one. So my plans for the next few weeks are, well, I've got the usual Longridge food and craft fair on Sunday this week. It's usually on a Saturday, but because it's December it's on a Sunday, and that's from 10 till 3 over in Longridge Civic Hall, so do come along if you're in the area. You're very welcome. Then I'm going to take a break over Christmas. I'm not going to take a break from podcasting so much, because I think it's important for me to keep up and say hi, and you know, if we're building this friendship or relationship or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you call it on a podcast. Podcast ship. Anyway, I'm going to keep podcasting, but I won't be doing any more events over the coming few weeks. The next thing I've got in my diary is February, when I'm off to a retreat for the weekend organised by Jolie's Kitchen, where I've signed up for some classes, staying in a hotel in Manchester. That should be quite good fun actually. I'm looking forward to that. And then starts the big show season for 2016. So I suppose I better get my application in, see if I can get to Woolfest this year. I think. I'm not sure. I keep trying and I don't get in. Maybe this year's my year, who knows. I'll try again for Yarn Down, because I really did enjoy that. And maybe think about doing some of the other shows, because let's face it, there's enough stuff here to stop. So we'll see what we see. I'm still looking for the shark pattern, so if anybody has any, has a copy that they're willing to sell me, or if the person who made the shark sock pattern, please let me know, because I really would like that to make for my friend Jen. Before we go any further, just in case she's watching, there's a lady that I also work with, called Gemma. No, I am not making you that all-in-one pink thing with the snood thing. No, sorry, it's too much. It wasn't originally, if you look for all-in-one, do a Google search for all-in-one, it was something that was created for an advert, and it's more than an all-in-one. It sort of covers everywhere, including the face, and it looks lovely, but it's just too huge, and I don't think I would ever get round to doing it. So no, I'm not doing that for you, Gemma. I do like you a lot, but no, I'm not going to do that. I've been reminded by my family that I've got a project in the freezer I'm trying to get rid of some moths from, that I need to tackle and finish. I've also got the bedspread to finish, and the list goes on. So I won't be taking on any new commissions for a while. I've got plenty to keep me going. Yeah, I think that says it all really. So what are you going to be doing over Christmas? Have you got family coming to stay? Are you working? What are your knitting plans over Christmas? Do you just use it as a time when you chill out and just do selfish knitting for yourself because you've done all your presents for other people? Or do you just carry on as normal, or do you put your knitting needles down over Christmas and spend time with the people that you love? I'm probably going to carry on because everybody knows what a nut job I am when it comes to knitting. I am truly addicted, and perhaps I should have called the podcast Truly Addicted to Knitting, not Knatters Knit. But that's what I'll be doing. I keep looking now. I've got some more yarn here. It's a jacquard colour from Regia, however you want to pronounce it. I've got loads of salt wool. Gosh, I didn't realise I had that one either. Oh, as you probably remember from a previous podcast, all my yarns are over there. So I'm looking, in fact it's such a distraction, maybe I'm going to have to move. But there's lots and lots of different things I could do. Let's see. In a couple of weeks' time I will draw for the Christmas Knit All the Things. If you go to the Knatters Knits group on Ravelry, you will actually see that I've got about 3 people now posting all their different things that they've knit for other people. Get yours in there as well, and then you'll have a chance to win the balls, the lovely purple balls of yarn that I've got sat in front of me, which I won't pull out because they're in crinkly packaging and they make quite a noise. I'll show them maybe on the next podcast. So get that done, and come and chat to us on the Ravelry group, because I know 2 or 3 of you that I've either met or we've chatted, you've left comments on YouTube, but it will be nice to get to know each other a bit more. And to that end, I'm announcing that on Tuesday night, that's what date is it on? Is it Sunday? Monday's the 30th. Tuesday the 1st of December. I will be doing my first ever virtual knit night, a VKN. So if you're interested, it's going to start around 7:30 UK time. I will be putting the link in the Knatters Knits group on Ravelry. So make sure that you've got Google Hangouts installed either on your laptop, your computer, your iPad, whatever it is you're using. And then just come along, press on the link, and the first 10 people that press on the link get to join in, and we can sit and have a natter, sit and have a chat, and just generally talk about knitting things, and we'll just have a good time. It's one of those things that you can drop in and out of. Come and see how you feel about it. If you've never done a virtual knit bike before, it's quite good fun. We'll introduce ourselves to each other, just generally have a chat and see what happens. So I look forward to seeing you all there. I'm hoping that a few people that I know will be able to drop in, but I know that the timing isn't necessarily right for those of you like Marnie in Canada, or even Stacey down in Australia. In fact, Stacey might be a little bit preoccupied because I think she's getting married next week. So we'll see. But it would be nice to see you all. So Knatters Knits group on Ravelry, that's ravelry.com, ravelry.com. Knatters is spelled with a K, and knits obviously is with a K. So for now I think we've got to a time where by the time I put the beginning and the ending on a couple of pictures, it's going to be enough for you. So I'm going to stop now before I waffle any more. It's been lovely chatting to you. Do pop along and see me then on Tuesday. If not, I shall see you again next weekend. I hope you've had a wonderful week, and I hope you have a great week to come. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.